hello, or like we'd say when we're teaching, hi, my name is Teacher Brooke. What's your name? Okay, but we don't have to do all that right now because it's just us and there's no 4-year-olds around. Well, there may be, but we're not teaching them, not right now. I keep getting so many people asking me about DaDaABC and VIP Kids and just wanting to know more about all of this. So here we go. I'm going to talk about what I have learned, what I have seen, where I have messed up, and what I need to do better going forward to improve and to make teaching for DaDaABC and VIP Kids the very best experience it can possibly be, and give you some updates about both companies and things I have figured out being kind of inside instead of coming from a just brand new hired standpoint. Okay, so I have been with VIP Kids and DaDaABC now for just over 2 weeks. I think it's been like 16 days. So I just kind of wanted to give an update on the two companies, what I think about working for each one, the differences, the similarities, and just ways to go about doing it if you are going to work for one or both of them. So DaDaABC, you have booked times that you're working. So it's like a clock in and clock out. You literally hit a clock in, clock out button on the screen. And during that time, you get paid because you're not allowed to leave your computer. You have to be there. They may give you a class last minute. I've had it happen where it pops up and all of a sudden you have another class and you didn't know it was coming. So from whatever time to whatever time, you're there, you're getting paid, you're sitting in front of the computer. My experience is that majority of that time you will be teaching. Sometimes there'll be student no-shows. Sometimes they don't book you a class. But for the most part, bell to bell, you are teaching. So my schedule personally is Thursday and Saturday mornings. So it's weird. Like I wanted 5 to 7 on Thursday mornings. I think my official time is like 5:01 to 7:08 or something like that. Like they don't make it nice, round, even start and end times. And I don't know why, but whatever. Saturday mornings I work 5 to 8. So I only do 5 hours a week with DaDaABC. You'll have to excuse the music. My kid's playing. So,
touch and learn. Let's learn the alphabet.
Okay. So with VIP Kids, you open up slots and you can open them the day before, you can open them weeks or even like a couple months in advance. You can change day to day what time you're working. So it's not a set schedule, which is good and bad. It's really good if you need that flexibility built in. Let's say that, like for me, 2 days a week, he goes to daycare. So it's easier for me to teach a little later on those mornings or to maybe run him to daycare and come back and I can teach another hour or two, like the later morning slots. But then there's other days that I only can teach until my husband's going to work. And then I don't want the baby waking up while I'm teaching, so I don't book slots for those times. So it's really nice for me to have the flexibility built in to kind of change depending on kids' schedules. I will also, let's say, if I have something going on the night before and I know I'm going to be up later than normal, I may not schedule that 3:30 or that 4 a.m. class. I may bump it up and not start till 4:30 or 5 that day, which I know is still early, but it's not near as bad as 3:30.
Question mark for help.
Okay, so say hi. Hi. All right, so that's kind of the scheduling differences. Now, VIP Kids does have a very handy phone app, so you can actually look at the app and see your schedule. You can change bookings, not that are already booked by a kid, but one that you've opened up that hasn't been booked yet. Hey, what? Get it. Okay, here. There you go. All right. Okay, so you can change bookings up. If they haven't been booked by a kid, like you have something come up at the last minute, you can change your schedule. DaDaABC, you can't do that. Like you're kind of locked in unless you give them advance notice. So with VIP Kids, another handy thing on their app is there's an alarm you can have go off 15 minutes before every class or before the first class of the day or before non-consecutive classes. So you have some leeway there, and I just feel like it's a really good backup. I haven't had an issue waking up at all or anything, but I feel like it's a good way to ensure that doesn't happen. Tip: don't have it go off for every class, because otherwise it goes off in the middle of you teaching another class. Had that happen once. Didn't realize that you could change the settings, didn't realize it was going to go off for every class, and so I'm mid-teaching and was like, oh, alarm going off on my phone, and it's loud. It is not a quiet alarm. But that would be good if you hadn't woken up and were supposed to. So, yeah, the app for VIP Kids is very, very handy. It is very user-friendly. It's got a good interface. You can actually look up your pay. You can look up the materials, like preview what you're going to be teaching. So you can do a whole bunch of stuff from the app. Now, you can't teach from the app because they don't want you using mobile data. But yes, otherwise you're good. It's very handy. So DaDaABC does have a phone app. It is not as useful as the VIP Kid one, in my opinion, but my guess is they'll update it. So just wait for that. It shows some scheduling stuff, but your scheduling is not as hard to keep up with because it's set week to week. So you just don't have kind of the constant interaction, I feel like, isn't needed with DaDa as it is with VIP Kids, as far as updating your schedule, checking your schedule, that kind of thing. Let's see, what else do I want to talk about? So the pay, we'll see. I'll get my first paycheck. Both of them pay the following month for the previous month. So like when June ends, I'll get a paycheck for June sometime in mid-July. And I think those dates vary a little bit between the two companies. I think one may be like the 10th and one's like the 20th or something like that. I'll get back to you because I'm not sure. I think one of my very favorite things about VIP Kids is their academy, and then also what's called the Hutang. So the academy is where you can go to take all these different courses. So if you're like, how in the heck do I teach grammar to somebody that has limited English? We're not teaching grammar to the 4, 5, 6-year-olds, but those kids that are good enough in English to need to know more intense grammar, past tense, present tense, future tense, those kinds of things. It can get kind of tricky in how to teach that. Or how do you teach the word culture when you don't have words to explain it because they wouldn't understand those words? So you can go into the academy on VIP Kids and you can come up with ideas from other teachers. So people that have done it, that have taught the lesson, you can watch examples. They've got PowerPoints. They've got live streamed like meetings, conferences you can go to. There's so many resources on there. I feel like it has actually made me a better teacher when I go back to my brick and mortar classroom in August than I was this previous year or ever before in 7 years of teaching. So it is a legitimately good way to learn and to improve your teaching, but also just to make it easier. Because if you know what you're doing, you're not sitting there going, oh my gosh, what? Right? You're not lost. You're not stressing, because then it's easy. You know what to do. You're prepared. So the academy is great. The Hutang is a thing I haven't used a whole lot of yet, but I'm getting more and more into it. You can basically win or earn rewards. So you do these different challenges. So maybe it's a social media challenge or something totally fun, right? And you get 5 coins. Or you take an extra class and you get 10 coins. Or you write an intro talking about who you are and why you wanted to teach for VIP, and you get coins. And you can add up coins to get things like VIP swag. So like a VIP Kid sweatshirt or whatnot. I haven't gotten any swag yet. So I will update y'all on that when I get enough to get something. But I think they also have competitions and raffles to win something. I don't know. So both really fun. The academy is really, really helpful. The Hutang is helpful, but it's also fun, and it makes you feel like part of a community within the VIP land. So those are both really good things that are going on there. I want to talk in just a second about the platforms within the teacher portals. But as far as the teaching platforms, DaDaABC and VIP Kids are fairly similar. Now, I've also gone through the interview process with Magic Ears. I am still kind of in the midst of that. I thought I was already officially hired. I was a little bit confused on that. I'm still in the process. Like I haven't not gotten it, but it's just a longer process for them. Their platform's different. I'm going to leave that for like a whole nother video because I'm not talking about them right now. But DaDaABC and VIP Kids are fairly similar, but the way the time works when you're given a lesson is different. So with VIP Kids, you have every class is 25 minutes long. So that gives you a 5-minute break in between each class because you sign up for 30-minute slots. So that 5 minutes is great to like run to the restroom really quick, get a couple sips of coffee. I'm usually like trying to inhale a cup, and also to take a quick write-up or evaluation that you have to do after each class for your students. Most of the time I've gotten that done in that 5-minute break. There have been times I've had to go back when I finish teaching and write a couple, and I'll give tips on that here in just a second. But as far as the timing, so VIP Kids is a 25-minute class, and you have to finish all the slides. So if you have 24 slides or if you have 36 slides, you have to get through all of them within 25 minutes with an absolute like hardcore max of 28. Like they do not want you going even a second over 28, but you can't go even a second under 25. But you really want to stay right at 25. So I usually time it where at 24 and a half, roughly, I'm getting to my goodbye screen. I can drag out a goodbye or I can make it a little shorter. So I can say, you know, bye. Oh my gosh, I had so much fun. You did so good. You got 5 apples and you got 5 stars. Wow, good, right? Or I can say, oh my gosh, good job today. I had fun. I will see you soon. And that's it. So I can drag it out and kind of take up that last minute, or I can make it like a 15-second deal if I need to. But other than that, you are constantly watching. At least I feel like I am watching the countdown clock and what slide I am on. So if I know I have 12 minutes left, I better have approximately 12 or 13 slides left. If I have 15 minutes left, I better have about 15 slides left. And there have been some kids where I get to the end and I'm like 3 slides left and I have 10 minutes left and I'm like, oh my gosh. Oh, I start extending. We have conversations because if they've gotten through the slides that fast, they probably are pretty good and they probably understand the material. So I start extending. I've even gone back and done like a review and it works great. The kids have no issue with it. I've also gotten where I had 5 minutes left and I had 12 slides left. And so then you start getting it. And once they get something, maybe there's 6 things they're going to circle on a slide. If they circle the first 3 with no issue, you move on. You don't worry about the next 3. Those kind of things. You kind of learn to adjust and adapt because you have to finish all the slides in 25 minutes. Different with DaDaABC. So with DaDaABC, first of all, every class is not 25 minutes. Some are 12, some are 28, some are 32. I don't have 32. That may be a little long. But they're different lengths. Now, the slides are different lengths too. So you may have only 12 slides, but it's only a 12-minute lesson. So it's easy. It's like a minute a slide and you go along and it's great. Or you have 40-something slides and you have 18 minutes. There's no way. So what you do in that case is you don't worry about it because with DaDaABC, you don't have to get through all the slides. When you close out with that student, it automatically bookmarks it so that the next time they start up automatically where they left off. So that is really nice, and it takes some of the stress off of watching the clock. I do try to get through enough slides. I don't want to spend so much time. You don't want to spend 5 minutes on one slide. But you don't have to stress about it. And if you don't finish, you're good. Completely. They don't care. They want you to do a good job teaching throughout. And they don't want to put the stress on the teacher to have to rush and finish and therefore maybe skip something or skim over something that you otherwise would have covered more in depth. Now I'm going to show you a screenshot of inside VIP Kids teacher portal and what it looks like and what some of this stuff means. I know it took me a day or two to kind of like break it down and figure it all out. So maybe if I do this now, when you get in there, you'll have no issue. You'll know what it all means. And if you're reading into it beforehand, people use some of these terms and you're like, what is that? And this will help kind of break down a few of those different things too. Okay, so you can see that 88 slots opened. That means that I have actually gone in and opened up 88 slots. Now that is for me about 3 weeks, maybe 4, that I've gone in and opened up that many. What the 38 is students that have actually booked those slots. So I'm standing with 50 slots right now that are not booked, but some of those are like 3 weeks out, so no biggie whatsoever. On the missing 00, that just means that I'm not missing any of my write-ups that are required after each class. So I typically have been able to complete my write-ups in between classes, and it's just a paragraph, a little short paragraph that tells you, or tells the parent, what that student did well, what they worked on, or what they could work on at home. And it's kind of one of those things that you want to like sandwich the good, what they could work on, and then something else really good that they did. So you just give a little write-up, and if you're missing any, it can actually affect your pay. I believe you have 12 hours to get them in before you lose any pay. Between 12 and 24 hours, it takes it to half pay. And then after 24 hours, if you don't turn in your write-up, you actually cannot have, or you actually won't get paid for that class. So there's that. The priority booking request is just students that have come back and been like, look, I only want to book with these 2 teachers. And so I'm going to have a priority booking request. I want to know when they're available. So I'm new. I don't expect to get any of the priority booking requests right off the top, but that is what that means. So if you also look over on the left where it says 13 classes, 13 students in 12 days. This screenshot was taken like 3 days ago maybe. And so it is where I was sitting at that point, and it actually didn't count that morning's classes. So if you start teaching and notice that number isn't completely updated, don't stress. It updates later in the day. I don't know what time, but quite a bit later. So at this point, I had 13 classes. I had 13 different students, so every class had been with a different student, and I had been with VIP Kids for 12 days. Okay, so there's going to be another screenshot of kind of a different part of that screen coming up, and we'll look at the different certifications, and you'll be able to see all of them over there on the left. Okay, so you can see right here, this is all the certifications that I have received from VIP Kids. So major courses are just those courses that students are enrolled in VIP Kids. They are taking actual courses. It is kind of their, what we would call core curriculum, and that's what they're focusing on. The level 2 and 3 just means what levels I am kind of certified to teach. So level 1 is kind of a pre-speaking level, like maybe 3-4-year-olds, a preschool age. Level 2 is kindergarten, 1st grade, 2nd grade, somewhere in there usually. And then level 3 is one up from that. So I will have some older kids, you know, preteen age, but mostly I have 5 and 6 and 7-year-olds, and they are so much fun. Then Free Talk and Voice of VIP Kid and Global Adventure are all extra things that I got just from taking a little online course and answering quiz questions in VIP Kids Academy. And then Trial just simply means that I'm certified to teach trial classes where students come in to try it out. Okay, so we're done with this video. Thank you for watching. And again, right down there, I will put my links if you want to apply. It helps me out just a little bit. I get a little incentive if I recruit somebody that's qualified and they get hired. So click on my links, help me out, and also please, 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 please ask me questions. I'm new at this, but I've done lots of research and I'm on the inside, so I can try to help you out. And if I can't figure out the answer, or if I don't know the answer, I will figure it out. Bye.